Hey y'all, first of all, welcome back to Total Dialysis. Today we're here talking about the top 5 reasons why you should get on home dialysis. All right, and these are my personal. You have my kids in the background, but that's part of the allure, right? First of all, listen, life with kidney failure can be rough, all right? Well, it's already rough, and then trying to make it work with dialysis just makes it that much rougher. And then when you talk about getting dialysis, you typically have to start or you go to a clinic, and you have to go there 3 times a week. The treatment is 4 hours a day, but that doesn't include the 30 minutes that you take to get on, and then the other 15 and 20 minutes it takes for you to get off. And then not to mention when they have a guest nurse that's just kind of scary, and that scary nurse acts like this when they're about to stick you. Oh my God, it is absolutely the worst thing. And then the other thing is that you have to actually wake up and you have to go to these clinics. So when I first started dialysis, I was going at 6:30 in the morning. And then later on, I was like, this is too early. Let me go at like 1 or 2 o'clock. But then I didn't get home until nighttime. It would be like 6 or 7 by the time I got home, because I had to travel across the city and travel back. And, it's a lot. It's a lot, And so here are my top 5 reasons for why I prefer home dialysis over clinic dialysis. Convenience and flexibility. One of my favorite things about home dialysis is the fact that it works on my time, right? I know I have to get dialysis. I know that I have to stay alive. But the other thing that I also have to consider is the fact that I have to work. And dialysis does not make working easy, especially when you're in the clinic, because the clinic has hours. And the clinic's hours usually work with other working company hours, right? So their schedules usually start around 6:30, and they put their last patients on around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and they're trying to be out by 7. And if you're a working person, unless you're working part-time, your job is probably 8 to 5, and you need that money. So home dialysis lets you work after hours. You could go to work from 8 to 5 or from 8 to 4 and come home at 5 or 6 and be off at 9 o'clock in the evening and go to bed and then get up and go back to work, And that's one of the best things about home dialysis. The other thing is when it comes time for holidays, you don't have to worry about not being able to get dialysis until the clinic is ready. And what I mean by that is when it comes like Thanksgiving or Christmas, they usually try to do dialysis 2 days before Christmas, or the day before Christmas, or the day before Christmas, or the day before Thanksgiving, and they'll take Thanksgiving and the next day off, or something like that. They'll take two days off in a row. Now, if you ate well, and I mean if you ate like extremely well on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving, you probably need dialysis the next morning, but you can't go because the clinic is closed. Well, here you are. The benefit of home dialysis is that, I can get up, I can get on right quick, and then I'll be done. I don't have to wait for the clinic. Flexibility is one of the best things. Comfort and familiarity. Listen, there is no place like home, right? And that's one of the beautiful things about home dialysis, is that when you're at home dialysis, you are in a comfortable, not just a safe environment, because a clinic is a safe environment, but comfort with all the bright lights, and sometimes it's freezing cold and all the strangers around you and stuff. No, man, I would rather be comfortable while I'm doing dialysis and I'm being safe at the same time too. Okay, so you get benefits, and I mean, it's gonna sound vain, right? But it's important to me though. Okay, some of the benefits of being at home is, I get to do it in my chair, or if I'm tired, I get to have dialysis while I'm in my bed. My family gets to be there. I get to play my PlayStation. I get to have all of my TV channels and everything available to me. I even get to snack well. And sometimes my wife will fix dinner and she'll still bring it to me while I'm still in the chair. And, I'll eat it while I'm going through dialysis to take my time. And it's not encouraged to eat a full scale dinner while you're in your chair. But sometimes, it is what it is. But the fact is that home dialysis allows you to still stay within the comforts of your life, the things that make your life precious to you. Home dialysis lets you enjoy that instead of having to get up, fix a bag, go to the clinic, sit amongst, people for 4 hours. I'm not going to say strangers, because after a while you get to know these people, you get to start talking, they understand who you are and all that stuff and everything. You do get to know these people, but they're not your family though, and it's just a better environment. And the more comfortable you feel, you tend to be more safer. I think you tend to be more safer if you're responsible, which you should be. And yeah, I would absolutely vouch for the comfort of home dialysis. Time saving. All right, so while this goes hand in hand with flexibility, it also stands to stand on its own. One thing about having dialysis at a clinic is that it takes time out of your day. Again, sometimes you have to get there an hour ahead of time, or you can get there at your right time, and you have to wait because somebody's in your chair. You don't know what's happening with that person. They may have had an event during their dialysis treatment. They may have gotten to dialysis late, and you have to sit there for another 30 to 45 minutes while waiting for them. Then the hour, 15 minutes it takes for them to prep you to get to the machine, the 4 hours that it takes for the machine to run, and then the other 20 minutes it takes for them to take you off, to bandage you up and make sure that you're healthy. And then if you don't have your ride, you got to wait for a ride. But if you do have a ride, sometimes you still got to drive home also. It's a lot. It is a time warp just to do dialysis at a clinic. And while you have to pay, like I said, I do it at home, it's 3 hours on the machine, but it takes me like maybe 30 minutes to set up at home, right? And while I'm setting up at home, sometimes I'm still snacking. I might have TV on. The game is repetition. And when you do it, then when it's all that you do, when you do it so many times, you kind of just have an instinct of what goes next and all those kinds of things and everything. And you're able to make it work the way how you want it to work, which I said all this before, flexibility. The biggest thing about time saving is that you get to be more, you get to manipulate your time better with home dialysis than you would with a clinic. Better health outcomes. Okay, so studies have shown that patients who do home dialysis typically come out with better results than people who do clinical dialysis. And better result, well, it's all the way around better results. And I'm a living testament to that. My labs have been better since I've been home, because I dialyze more now. I dialyze 4 days a week instead of 3. The fluid doesn't get a chance to build up in my body the way it does when I'm at clinical dialysis, which also means that when I get off the machine, I am not nearly as weak or tired or drained when I finish my home dialysis, which is one of the best things because I have 3 kids and one of them is a 3-year-old, right? And so your labs tend to be better. You tend to feel better. Your health tends to be better. You tend to be able to run around more. I lift weights. I picked up a little more weight, which I'm really happy about. Been wanting to pick up weight. You just tend to have better outcomes when you take responsibility for your health, and that is a good thing. Greater independence. All right, y'all. So this is the last one. In conclusion, and speaking about independence just earlier, home dialysis gives you reins of your dialysis treatments. And with a greater sense of responsibility of your health, I think also comes a greater sense of well-being. You know, you are more knowledgeable, you're more careful, you're more mindful about yourself. You have the ability to take your machine with you to go places sometimes if you don't trust another clinic, or if you happen to go to another clinic because you're on vacation, you can stick yourself and not allow another technician to stick you because you trust yourself. People who tend to take their independence and responsibility in their health as well as their life, it just tends to show better results, and they tend to feel much better about themselves. They tend to be much healthier. So it's if you have a self-made mind about, you know, the rest of your life, I don't see a reason not to add dialysis to that tab, you know. Now, of course, home dialysis is not for everyone, and you have to talk with your doctor to see if you even qualify for the program. But I encourage you not to be afraid to get started, okay? The biggest thing that you need for home dialysis is simply the determination, the willpower, all right? And most of the times, people's biggest obstacle in getting things done is usually just themselves. All right, you usually are your biggest wall, but the funny thing about it is that wall that looks so huge is so thin. It's so thin. And when you learn how to beat yourself, when you learn how to bust through that wall, the thing that you have to do is, the next thing you have to do after you beat that wall is submit to the nurse and submit to repetition. And that's how you learn anything. The nurse, first of all, knows what she's talking about, and she knows how to guide you through the process. The other thing is that repetition is the only way that you learn something. You don't learn it the first time you try it. You won't get it right the first time you try it. But that is okay. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to figure it out while the nurse is there. She is there to guide you into doing it right. And I swear, by the end of the 4 weeks, because it is also a time commitment, by the end of the 4 weeks, you'll be ready. That nurse will have you ready. And then your life will be in your hands, and you will be so happy that you took responsibility. You'll feel so much better about it. You'll have so much more freedom. All right? You'll have a chance to make it a good life, okay? So, hey, thank you for listening. I hope this information helped you. Make sure you like this video if this information did help you. Subscribe to the channel so I can continue to bring you more content. And remember, it's your responsibility to make it a good life.